When we first started Carry the Load, right after losing some friends of ours, it was about showing their families, showing our families, our friends, how we were going to celebrate their ultimate sacrifice. And it was a way to keep their memories alive. And one of the byproducts of that today, which has been wonderful to see, is the educational tool that Carry the Flag has become in teaching the next generation about the importance of that service and sacrifice. And it's been really cool to see.
I grew up in Arlington, Texas. From Texas, went to the Naval Academy, and then from there into the Marine Corps.
All right, where they're shooting at, I want you to shoot at.
I've built lifelong friendships there. People that have helped me be a stronger leader, be more convicted about character and values over time. The unit that I was assigned to was 1st Battalion, 9th Marines. We were sent to Ramadi, which is in Anbar province, that's Western Iraq. Our platoon of 50 Marines and sailors was split roughly 2/3 at one outpost, one larger police station, and then 1/3 in a smaller police station, which is where Jordan's squad or section was.
Jordan Herder gave his life in Ramadi, Iraq, defending a platoon of Marines. And he's been an inspiration to me my entire life. First Battalion, 9th Marines, that's the platoon Jordan was in, and Dan was like the captain of that.
Such a good Marine, never in trouble, always laser focused, extremely good kid. Come back from deployment in late 2008. A couple months later, we've got a bicycle ride we're doing in Long Island. This ride's going to honor Jordan. A couple days before we load the vans up to leave, I get a phone call from Jordan's parents. Hey, we've got these two little kids, they're like 3 and 5. They've raised a couple $100 selling cookies and lemonade for veterans. Can you bring them some Marine kid stuff? I'm thinking, what Marine stuff do you get kids? I don't know.
The story goes, I just went to my mom and wanted to do something for soldiers. I just look up to them so much, and so I had a little piggy bank that I wanted to do something with. I learned to ride a bike for Soldier Ride. It was the first time going without training wheels, and I was the last person on a bike, the ambulance was behind me. Dan and some other guys who were in his platoon all were riding around me. My dad said, go ahead, like, he's gonna take all day. And they said, no, like, we stay. Yeah, I just remember, like, they were, like, the coolest people I'd ever met, like, starstruck by them, and wanted to be just like them, and kind of still do. Dan Runsheimer has been a lifelong mentor and personal hero of mine. My dad went up to him and asked, would it be weird if my sons write you letters?
When I was in first grade, I had a pen pal that was a tanker in Desert Storm who I would exchange letters with. Sort of on the spot, I thought, this is great. I'm paying it back or I'm paying it forward, I don't know which. And I can be a pen pal with these little kids. Don't know what I'm gonna write to them about, but this will be great. So I said yes. And so over the course of the next 2 years, they would send me stuff, whether I was at Camp Lejeune or whether I was deployed a couple more times. Other than my immediate family, sent me more mail than anybody else that I knew. So that was how I got connected with Benjamin and William and their parents. The friendship, or what I would even describe really as more of a family relationship, naturally transpired over those years as the kids grew up and continued on with their volunteer projects.
As I got the letters from Dan, I started wanting to do more for these men and women, and so mostly it was like lemonade stands. Like I had a barrel to collect like money at like the gas station, at the coffee shop, at like different places. My friends and kids at my school and just throughout the city didn't know anything about the military or didn't know about the difficulties transitioning, and that's kind of where Whiskey Bravo, the idea was born. Most other organizations just have kids as like, ask their parents for money or like start a donation page. But we really wanted kids to start having impact and start like, not just asking for others to do something, but start doing something themselves. And so we sought out to start with like educational programs at first, because those were slightly easier, and just telling more kids about the military and about what is sacrificed like on their behalf. Trying to build that sense in students, and so whether it's supporting our military or picking whatever your passion is and turning it into doing something to help others, that's kind of at the core. It's about building that in youth, about instilling those values. So Dan told me about this organization, Carry the Load. Learning from the other organizations, being able to work with the other organizations has been tremendous.
I did it in 8th grade. I'm in 10th grade now, so this is my second Carry the Load relay. We do a lot of work with veterans, and we do work with helping to tutor veterans' kids at military bases around the country. And we take part in a lot of drives and community service initiatives to give back to veterans and help those who serve our country.
Guys, head over that way to Ben. He wants to take a group photo.
It's just been tremendous to be able to learn and really get that support and guidance from an organization like Carry the Load.
Thank you guys so much. Like I said, if you're walking 12:30, if not, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. Awesome.
By the time he was getting into 8th grade and then coming into 9th grade as a freshman, he started talking to me about his Whiskey Bravo idea for a club that he wanted to start at the high school level, because that's really where they can sort of officially start.
So Miss Payne's the best. She's my high school advisor. She's helped us build out Whiskey Bravo and fit within the current school administration systems.
And now we should have 100 of those lined up.
Awesome.
Yes, I am a veteran. I joined the Army in 1992, I don't necessarily feel like I had to hide that part of my background. It just wasn't something that had a focus or a platform here. So I wouldn't willingly or just like openly go and talk about it with people. If it came up, I would absolutely say, you know, yes, I'm a veteran and I'm proud of that, but it just very, very rarely ever comes up. There's not many people that I think come to work here who are veterans, and definitely not students who historically have gone on to military service. And so it was something that I was sort of advised, it's not something we really talk about here, to be honest. And then with Ben really kind of shining a light on veterans and service and families, and this being a passion project of his and really part of who he is. There's been a lot of opportunities to share my story and just to talk about the importance of awareness and education around the military and especially veterans and their families. And so that has sparked some newspaper articles at the school, being involved in some, you know, Veterans Day videos and things like that, where not only myself, but he's also gone out of his way to find those connections within the community of other faculty and staff members who either were in the service or have really close ties to people that are in the military. And he's also really highlighted them and their experiences, and that's brought a lot more awareness to students. And now they actively will come and ask me about it. And it's really interesting because they are very much intrigued. They have a lot of questions. And I think it's done a lot of good for the community to talk about it more.
So between these,
Yeah.
combine two.
Yeah, okay.
I think we actually.
My name is Riya Gupta, and I'm a senior, and I've been volunteering since my freshman year. When I used to live on the west side, there was this homeless veteran who used to live sit on the corner right beside my door, and every day on my walk to school, we would talk to him, and I sort of became friends with him. He would sort of ask me about school and check in on me every day, and his name was Kenny, and slowly we got to know each other better, and I ended up finding out that he was a homeless veteran. He had spent his life sort of serving our country and then sort of was left alone on the streets, and that sort of always irked me, and I wanted to do something, but I was 6 or 7 at the time, and there wasn't really much I could do. Ben was telling me about this club that he had started and this organization that he ran, and I was like, this is a great way for me to sort of help other people like Kenny, maybe not him directly, but sort of use my values and sort of help others who have been serving.
Okay. Yeah, if you do one strip this way and then also some that way, just so that's secure.
I'm Oliver Bradford. Most important, I think, is my family's history of service. Both my step-grandfather and my real grandfather both served in the military. My uncle served, my aunt served.
My name is Aminata Diallo. What's really inspiring me is the people that I don't know, the people who I don't interact with. And living in New York, there's lots of homeless people on the street as well. So you always see someone who's I'm a veteran and I haven't been able to receive these benefits, or I'm 2 years out of the military and I'm stuck on the street. So it's those people that I really want to help out. So I joined Whiskey Bravo to basically make an impact on those people's lives.
Yeah, so right now students are prepping different things. So they're creating boxes, writing cards, and we have candy bag making. So each soldier gets a different candy bag with a little Whiskey Bravo sticker on it. So they're prepping that stuff, and then we'll switch over to the assembly line, pack out line.
We have a system for how we're gonna bag. We're gonna make 100 bags with all of these stuff, okay? So you're gonna come here, grab one of these bags. You're gonna put a pack of cards in it. You're gonna put 5 individual granola bars. And then between this stuff, you're gonna put 3 items, okay? They're all labeled 1, 5, 3, so you guys remember. And you're just gonna keep coming down the line. You're gonna put a bag of candy, and then you're gonna put one of these and sign your name, okay?
Okay.
Down a little. It's right after the bars. Can I take your cards?
My name's Montana, and I have a lot of people that I know that are veterans and a lot of people who are still active in the military service. And so hearing about Whiskey Bravo at school made me interested to join the club because I know people who are a part of the military.
My name is Alex Goldberg, and I love volunteering because I love seeing veterans get recognized by their communities. I actually organized my own Veterans Day assembly at our school that involved reaching out to so many faculty members and administrators. Once it was rolling and once everything was organized, which took a while, it was an incredible experience.
It's bringing out, I think, who they are as people. Anybody who joins the military or really supports an organization like this, from the ground up and is really involved on a consistent basis, I think it's in them to serve in that way.
There's not a lot of organizations that allow kids to be doing the programming themselves, that put kids in the front seat, that say we'll back any programming you want to organize, let's just talk it out and let's just get started. And that's kind of our get stuff done attitude. It's if you have an idea, let's do it. And so a lot of other things for high school students involve a lot of just talking about it and never doing it, or just fundraising, or there's not a lot that allows kids to just start creating and start programming and start having an impact.
I don't think you can do these kind of activities and not be changed in some way. I'm really proud, very proud of Ben and all of the students that are involved in Whiskey Bravo for the time and the energy that they put into this. They are going out to carry the load, they're marching, they're out there with veterans and their families, and they're experiencing it on a firsthand basis. And so, yes, I think that it's impossible to do those things and not have it affect you in some way. Yeah.
So Jordan and a fellow Marine, Jonathan Yale, were on guard duty. And so they were tasked with protecting the barracks full of Marines and Iraqis. And a truck loaded with explosives came barreling down the road. And they had 6 seconds, they calculated, to decide whether they could run or open fire on the truck. And they chose to stay and hold their ground and give their lives to protect all the men and women in the barracks.
Had that vehicle penetrated the gate and made it another 50 to 60 yards in, it would be a catastrophic hit on that building, and you'd have, without question, you'd have loss of life and certainly extreme injuries from it. As it stood, the force of the blast caused some traumatic brain injuries and some other physical wounds for people in the buildings. The Iraqis, the police, well, their comment to General Kelly was that no sane man would have stayed there. But we train Marines to do something different. We don't train them to do what the average sane person would do, so.
Jordan was awarded the Navy Cross, and so I heard that story, and that was a lot for my little self. I kind of wanted to learn more, and so I reached out to Joanne and to Dan and to all these people, and they always just had the nicest things to say about him. And just he was a person who was always doing things for others and inspiring others. How are you? It's good to see you.
When the Twin Towers fell, Jordan was invited by his aunt, Tanta Ruth, who lived in the city, and his cousin, 2 weeks before school started, so early September. He was on the towers and has pictures, and then 2 weeks later it's down. I think that really affected him, and he just kept it inside, so I think that was part of what went on. He wasn't a gun person at all. Just maybe senior year, I think he got into paintball, and I don't know if that's just, what kind of gun that really is. But, his dad wasn't with guns, so He ended up being expert rifle and platoon high shooter in his platoon. So, you know, it was his calling, I guess. Dan, he called probably once a month from Iraq because he was his first lieutenant, I think he was, and then he got his promotion in Iraq. And when you get a promotion in the military when you're home, you take everyone to the bar or something like that, that type of thing. So what Dan, speaks volumes for Dan, because this promotion happened in Iraq, he ordered everyone a memorial bracelet for Jordan that you gave all so that we might live. And he had that made for the platoon, weapons company platoon. So that's what he did. Etched on his gravestone is amazingly woven into the lives of so many. I realized that early on that what Jordan's actions and Jonathan Yale's actions were that day saved the lives of 50 Marines and countless Iraqi civilians as well, and police. And so many of them, their lives have gone on. They have children now, they went to college, and just so much happened because of their actions. So I'm definitely proud of him for that.
The amazingly woven into the lives of so many is like exactly what Whiskey Bravo is trying to do. Like weave Jordan's story and other stories into these kids and teach them about like his heroism and about the values he valued.
I can't believe again that you can, you know, get so many people involved in what you are passionate about. You know, so you share your passion. I think that's good because again, people your age normally wouldn't even think about it. I don't think.
Well, it's more when you tell them stories about people like Jordan and then people who've given it all and sacrificed and lived with those values that they want to come out and support people who've given that much, and really like it's because of them that they're there.
There is no other country on the planet that gives the amount of opportunity we have here. So all of us should be giving something back. The unique power of Carry the Load, there isn't anything else that brings community together in this way.
We have students who now have a dedication to service and a dedication to do more because of the lessons that are taught by those who serve.
It's been really cool to see what Carry the Flag has become as an education-based program that inspires the next generation to serve in their own unique way, in their own community. And I just can't wait to see where it goes from here.